the ground now!
You were in the wrong place at the wrong time. We'd been in the wrong place forever.
Sometimes doing the right thing is doing the wrong thing.
Dusk Falls is an interactive drama from Interior Night. It depicts a family moving to Missouri from Arizona who has to make a pit stop that will change their lives forever. During this review, I will discuss the game as much as possible without giving it away to you. This is a story-driven game, and we want this to be spoiler-free so that you go in with your eyes wide open. I'm Court Lalonde from Xbox A, and this is Dusk Falls in review. I want to start off by thanking our friends over at Xbox Canada providing a code for review. Interior Night is an independent game studio from Quantic Dreams and Sony devs. My first impressions of As Is Dusk Falls weren't the best. And honestly, I thought the game wasn't for me. I'm a fan of story-driven games, but the art style is kind of what threw me off with this stop-motion cell shading. I don't know why I doubted the studios given their pedigree, but I'm glad I was wrong. The story starts in Arizona, and the art style brings each environment to life. The art style looks like a live-action comic using stop motion. The stop motion took some time for me, but I fell in love with it by the end. It helps move the story along and doesn't distract from the story simultaneously. I played the game on my Xbox Series X, which looked beautiful. The game uses cell shading, which usually I'm not a fan of and throws me off, but I totally understand their choice here from the developers, and it's perfect with the characters and the location. There were moments when the characters' facial expressions seemed off, but I found it only really stood out with the younger version of Zoe throughout the game. For some reason, she would make like a smile when something very serious was going on, and it just kind of threw me off. Whether it was a day or night scene, I felt they brought the locations to life and made them almost another character in the story. The audio doesn't separate itself from other games, or would I recommend that you have to play this with headphones, but I will say this, the voice acting is superb in As Dusk Falls, and they do a fantastic job of captivating the audience, and you may believe so much in their performances. Each person has done such a good job that I honestly feel like this game, those voice actors should be up for some awards during the Game Awards. This isn't a game where you can throw on some music in the background and play through it. I would recommend you don't do that, and it's best if you have to hear the dialogue because it helps you make the choices along the way. The gameplay is straightforward and has a vast accessibility features, making it a game everyone can play. You can use menu narration, gameplay narration, text-to-speech, speech-to-text, and many, many UI features. There is a mobile app to have your friends play along with you, but it wasn't available at the time of the review. There is integrated features with Twitch that allow viewers to make the choices for the game and for the streamer. It also allows for local multiplayer of the game, but sadly, I had no one to play with. For my playthrough, I found the controls to be straightforward to use and forgiving. They give the player a lot of time to make choices and allow you to correct any mistakes that you make while making your actions. There's swipe left, swipe right, turning your controller, but even if you make a little bit of an adjustment, you can go back and change that all. The game allows you to go back and make any significant choices you make when you replay the game at the very end, and you get to see what happens after you finish the game. This is great for any achievement hunter out there. As Dusk Falls isn't the longest game for your first playthrough, I do see a ton of replayability on this. My total playthrough was just over 6 hours. The content of the game is where it shines, and it deals with many serious subject matters, I felt they handled it very properly. So I would highly recommend this game for 18 plus. During my playthrough, I wanted more, and I wanted to see where the story goes, and I didn't want to put the game down. As Dusk Falls is a roller coaster of emotions. Not since The Last of Us have I felt so attached to the characters and either hated or love them. If you're into story-driven games with a choose-your-own-adventure style, I'd highly recommend this game to you. Actually, I'd highly recommend this game to you if you're just into story-driven games. It's available day and date on Game Pass, so if you have Game Pass, to me, it's a no-brainer. You go out and try it. But even if you don't have Game Pass, right now the MSRP on it for Canada is only $30, so I'd even recommend it to even go out and buy it. So please, give it a try.